Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to our module on formatting Braille. The Mountbatten has a number of commands to allow you to format your Braille. For example, the centering command. You issue the centering command by hitting the command key and typing CE for centering.
CE.
When you hit enter,
On.
the unit says on to indicate that the command is on. From that point, when you begin brailing, nothing immediate is going to happen other than voicing the letters that you braille.
A, B, C, D.
Because at that point, it's trying to determine how much it needs to center and where it needs to position it on the page. Once you hit new line, it will braille out what you've typed.
New line.
To turn the centering command back off, it's exactly the same command. Command CE.
C, E.
And the enter key.
Off.
Similarly, there's a command for adjusting your text to the right margin. The command for this is RA.
Command R-A. On.
Like the centering command, when you start brailing,
A, C, E, E, L.
nothing will happen immediately until you hit the new line key.
New line.
And again, like the centering command, to turn it off again, you issue the same command.
Command R-A. Off.
There are also commands for setting margins for the Mountbatten Brailler. So, for example, if you wanted a left margin to be 4 characters in, you could do that 2 different ways. One way is to space over the number of characters that you want to set the left margin,
Space, 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 space.
and then issue the command LMH to set the left margin at the position of the Braille head.
Command L, M, H. OK.
So then, each time you hit new line, instead of returning to the very beginning, your head will return to the left margin setting.
New line.
If you wanted to remove the left margin, you could simply issue the command LM.
Command L, M, OK.
Then when you hit new line, it would once again return to the first position.
New line.
The other way that you could set the left margin would be to issue the command LM, a space, and the number that you wanted for the left margin.
Command L, M, space.
And as with any number command, you could either use the literary number sign and then the number, or you could use Nemeth drop numbering.
4. OK.
And again, when you hit new line,
New line.
it will return to the margin position. And again, if you wanted to remove that, you could just issue the command LM.
Command L, M, OK.
There's also a command for setting the right margin, which is RM. Again, like the left margin command, you could issue the command RMH to set the right margin at the position of the Braille head, or you could issue the command RM, a space, and a number to indicate the number of characters from the right margin that you want the right margin to be set at. And like the left margin command, you can remove the right margin setting by simply issuing the command RM. There are also commands for setting the top margin and commands for setting the bottom margin. The top margin, however, is relative to the position that you've inserted the page. So if you insert the page and you leave it a fair ways down from the top, and you've set a top margin, say of 4 lines, it's going to move 4 lines beyond where you've inserted the paper. So it's important to take into account the amount of paper that you've already left at the top before setting your top margin command. The bottom margin will change the number of lines that are counted as the paper starts to exit from the unit. So the moment that the paper passes the paper sensor in the paper path, it will then start counting down to your bottom margin. Again, to remove these, top margin and bottom margin, you can issue TM command for top margin or BM command for bottom margin. You also have the ability to set tab positions using the left function and right function buttons. By default, out of the box, the left function and right function act as forward and backward tab, and there are tab positions set for every 5 characters. So if I hit the left function button,
tab,
it will move ahead 5 characters. If I wanted to set my own tab positions, I would have to first clear the tab settings. The command for clearing the tab settings is TC.
command, T, C, OK.
That will then
No tab set.
completely remove the tab settings. And as you can hear when I hit the left function button,
No tab set.
the synthetic speech says no tab set. If I wanted to set a tab,
Space.
I could move to the position where I wanted the tab to be set and then issue the command TSH.
Command, T, S, H, OK.
So now,
New line,
if I hit my tab,
tab.
it will move to the position where I set it. That concludes our module on formatting Braille.